Legendary weapons don't feel legendary. This is a debate that's been going on for the last couple, almost a year really, for Deepwoken. People feel that legendary weapons have sort of lost their place in the game, and that rarity in general has really kind of just disappeared, that everything is very easy to get. But for the longest time, it's been incredibly hard to quantify for many people what it means when you say, legendaries don't feel legendary. And I think I've got it. I think I've figured it out. And it comes down to one simple thing. Presentation. A lot of times now when we get legendary weapons, it's just thrown into a weekly. It doesn't make sense in the lore. There's nothing really special about it. It's just, imagine a gun, but it's better. Imagine a sword, but it's longer. Imagine another gun, but it shoots fire. Imagine another gun, but it shoots thunder. You know, a lot of these legendaries, they don't sound legendary. They don't feel legendary. It's more of a unique weapon or a mythic weapon. The true legendary weapons are the Curved Blade of Wind, the Crypt Blade, the Pleesky's Inferno, the Cure's Winter, and the Deep Spindle. A lot of that comes down to its presentation. The Crypt and the Curved Blade, they felt special in a lot of ways because of rarity and because of how strong they are, but also their strength and their rarity was also backed up in the lore. It felt special because it was special. The Curved Blade... Sorry, I'm smoking dick lately. The Curved Blade of Winds, this was the blade used by the first Gale Breathers, the first of their kind, the ones that created and developed the magic. It is special and legendary. The Crypt Blade, a forgotten, lost, like cursed sword, the power of the shadows. That is legendary. And it evolved later in verse 2, especially in 2024, with things like the Pleesky's Inferno and the Cure's Winter and the Deep Spindle. I think those three in particular are the closest to legendary weapons we've ever gotten because of the presentation and because of the additional items and lore. You did a cool, fun quest. You received the item, you received the weapon from in-game lore characters, and on top of that, they had supplementary items to go with it. If you get the Simmerbloom Diadem, it buffs the Pleesky's Inferno. If you get the Deep Scorn or the Deep Scorn Armor, it buffs the Deep Spindle. These are items built with the legendary weapon, built with the lore, because you get it from that character, that in-game, in-lore character, and it buffs your legendary. It feels legendary. It feels inspired. It has purpose and presentation. That, I think, is the actual key definer here. Not just how it's presented, but what comes with it. The idea of adding legendary weapons from a boss or an in-game lore character and then being able to get items, for example, maybe in the future there's a Lord Regent boss fight, you defeat him and you're able to get some sort of special sword from him, and after farming him more often you can get an item like the Lord Regent's Crossguard, which buffs maybe your posture gain. Things like that, that makes it feel legendary. Because there's supplementary items like, yeah, this was built just for the weapon because the weapon is so powerful. Instead, we just get a lot of, here you go, longer sword, new sword. Hey, let's take like the Forgotten Gladius or an existing weapon, multiply the stats by 1.5, just increase the damage, increase the swing speed. We're good. Give it a new crit. Send it out. That's not legendary. That's unique, mythic, maybe, but it's not legendary. I think if we got back to that, like adding these quest lines that give you a legendary weapon, built in with like continuous farming that can give you items to buff that weapon, that feels legendary. That feels cool. And it gives people a reason to keep playing. People don't like farming for like their entire life to get one weapon. People also don't like beating a boss once and getting every item in the game. That's not very fun either. We need to find that happy medium. You know, let's say you do a boss, I don't know, 10 times. you'll probably get the weapon. Or you do the boss 20 times, you'll definitely get the weapon. I think that's an appropriate level of grind, to the point where you're rewarded for putting time into it and you have an item that most players don't because of laziness. You know, it's an item that's rare and most people don't have, not because they can't, just because that like bar of entry is just a little higher. You have to actually go out of your way for it, opposed to just getting it for playing normally. That's all the ramble for today. Peace out.